Honestly, like, I'm running out of things to say on these intros. Hi, welcome back to Band on Band. This week we're talking to Kate from The Winter Passing. Kate and I talk about Durham's finest. You guessed it. Probably the only band from Durham that we're ever going to talk about on this podcast. Martha. They're great. This podcast's great. Good stuff. Roll clip. So you picked the wonderful Martha.
I did.
You did?
Can you... I did.
Do you remember the first time that you ever heard the band or were introduced to the band or saw them about?
So I was thinking about this and I was like, when was it? And it was actually back... It was probably... It was January 2015.
Oh, very precise.
Definitely, because we went on a tour with Losing Sleep.
Yes.
My beloved Sean Sheehy, and we actually stayed in Martha's house, in Durham. And I guess we would have known that we were staying with them, beforehand. But obviously we started listening to them beforehand, and so that would have been the first time I found out about Martha.
Right.
So just started listening to them from then, and I don't know, I just think that they're just a band that has consistently got better and better, and but at the same time stayed so true to themselves. Since literally that time, I don't know, maybe it was probably early 2014 really by the time, or no, late 2014 by the time I was listening to them. So just think they're the most amazing band ever.
So you would have been introduced to them around the first album, sort of Blisters in the Pit of My Heart.
Yeah, well, I guess a little bit before that, Court and Strong maybe.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, obviously, then I would have been 100%, because I guess I'm not even sure if was Spotify a thing. Yeah, probably was. Yeah, I feel like I'm such an old person lately. I'm just was Spotify a thing back in my day? I guess Court and Strong was definitely one of the first things I would have listened to, and then Blisters in the Pit of My Heart would have definitely been kind of the heavy hitter then for me. I'm one of the early fans.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that you have taken sort of the your own sort of way to listening to them, just because you're going to go and spend some time up in Durham, in that whole DIY scene and that whole DIY ethos of just listening to someone, so you've got someone to talk to, and then all of a sudden finding arguably one of your favorite bands.
Absolutely. And I think even back then, obviously we've did quite a lot of touring between the UK and we've met some of our closest friends because of staying in their house, and we've toured with other bands because we may have stayed in their house on previous tours and stuff, so that is actually, well, I guess that's how you make your friends in any community, just by reaching out and stuff. But it is, it's a funny thing, that's what we'd always kind of tend to do. But I think Martha they were already a band that people had already been talking about at that point as well, though, even before let's say we were going to stay with them. But definitely, I guess because we were going to stay with them, we were let's check out Martha.
Stick them on in the van.
And it's really, and really glad we did. It was funny. I'm not going to be able to tell this story properly, but when we actually stayed in I'm pretty sure they have a name on their house. I just call it the Martha House, but I'm pretty sure they call it the Chicken House or something like that.
We'll fact check it.
Yeah, maybe do. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. And they showed us this. I'll never forget it in my whole life. I'm gonna need to fact check this. It's they showed us this old German it was an Irish German family band.
Right.
And they showed us these music videos for this band, and it was I can't remember the name of it. It was I'm in love with an alien. Do you know that song?
No.
Okay. Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this on your podcast, but whatever. But yeah, so they showed. I think it's like, fuck. I'll just have to try remember it at a different time. But yeah, we had great fun that evening, and funnily enough, yeah, we got to meet them and still good friends with them today. So
I feel like
it's always good.
I feel like I'm gonna have to try and find that song, have a conversation after this, and then when we remember it and discover it, we'll use it as the intro and outro song of this episode or something like that.
I love it. Like, I'll have to just, we'll have to speak about it after because I just can't remember the name of it. But honestly, it's just one of the best things ever. It's so weird. I'm pretty sure they're talking about being in love with, like, the whole song is based around being in love with an alien, and like
Weird.
the music video is amazing. It was just amazing. And then as well as that, we had a little look around Durham that time,
Beautiful.
and it's like something I think some of Harry Potter would have actually been filmed in a certain place in Durham.
Right.
Can't remember where, but it actually was kind of something. It seemed as very Harry Potter like or something.
Was the band the Kelly Family?
Yes, that's it. The Kelly Family. Oh my God, that is so amazing.
Quick Googling. I was a bit fearful of Googling that phrase, but...
Did you have? And is it actually I'm in love with an alien?
I literally just Googled being in love with an alien, and
the Kelly Family came up. Oh wow!
There we go.
That's like my favorite thing to have happened. So close to the end of the decade.
Intro and outro music sorted.
Oh, so good! Wait till you see the video. It's just amazing.
I'm gonna watch that. I think I remember stumbling across Martha. It must have been around that Blisters in the Pit sort of area, like 2016 or something. Because I remember them being on Fortuna Pop.
Okay.
And I remember them having that sort of, feeling like they were the top level of the DIY scene at that time. But I had no idea about this label that they were on, and it didn't seem like a lot of the bands at the time that were on those sort of smaller, independent, community-based labels. But I remember Specialist Subject just whenever seeing them on the internet talking about how great Martha was, and they were not wrong.
They're not wrong at all.
They're not wrong a lot of the times, but yeah, that's when I was introduced to them. And then obviously now just you can't get away from them really. I saw Jimmy the other day, and they're just the best in my opinion.
They're great. They're really, really fantastic. And I think the newest record is just... I'm sure you were about to just ask me that as well, were you? I hope you were, because like now it's just a really good segue.
I love it.
Yeah, but I think the newest record is just so good. Love Keeps Kicking. Everybody listen to it. It's amazing. But yeah, I think as well as that, what I said earlier, like, they're a band that just consistently got better and better, but without being like a complete change either. Like, I just think that album is, I don't know, like first listen, I loved it, and I am the type of person where I kind of have to listen to an album a couple of times. It doesn't matter what band it is, like I just have to listen to it to, get comfortable with whatever it is. But just like first listen to this album, I was just dancing,
Cool.
I was just loving it.
That's quite an accolade to be the band that you just need one listen for.
Yeah, exactly.
What would you say your favourite song from Love Keeps Kicking? Got tongue tied there. Love keeps kicking.
Ooh, yeah. But yeah, but I think my favourite song is Into This. I think it's because of just like the story to it. I guess like the story I guess I'm taking from it, just like someone only maybe having the courage to like, be affectionate towards a certain person if they're like drunk or whatever. But I just love the wordplay. That's another thing with Martha that I just love, like lyrically, like the wordplay on things is just so them. And also like, I don't know, it's a pleasing thing to hear, like, but I guess after that, I think I really do personally feel that like every single song on this album is amazing. But I guess my favorite song is Into This. Heart is Healing and Sight for Sore Eyes. But obviously, I have to say, Love Keeps Kicking as a title track as well is absolutely. Just every single song on this record is so good. I'm so passionate
I love it when
about
people
it.
get stoked about music like this. It's like 11 hits, and I think it's when bands turn in albums and they're like, you listen to it full and you're like, you listen to it. I mean, obviously, we get the pleasure of listening to these things months before they come out, and you sit there and you talk about what could be a potential single, and everyone has different ideas.
Yeah, because that's how good they are.
Is probably one of like maybe 3 records that seems to have happened to in 2019 for us.
I know.
I'm glad Love Keeps Kicking was the lead single and the title track.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm exactly the same as you. I can't shout about how good enough this is. I feel like, for me personally, The Void is my favorite song on this record, like hands down. Like how there's the 3-part harmonies towards the end, and then there's that sort of like call and response part with like, I saw the devil. I can't sing, I'm not going to do it, but that's a cracking song. And WrestleMania,
it's such great
8,
vocals.
So I want to get the Roman numerals right, is a cracking song. It's just very good.
That's it, isn't it?
I feel like that's our point of the whole thing. It's very good.
Yeah, it's a very good album.
Hello, loyal listener. Yes, I know, probably enjoying this wonderful chat I'm having with Kate from The Winter Passing, but fear not, I am here to try to sell you something. Yes, The Winter Passing, they have a fantastic new record coming out on the 3rd of July. It's called New Ways of Living. Yes, fantastic. It's great. It's exactly what you think when you think of The Winter Passing. It's full of hooks, it's full of hits, it's full of wonderful melodies, and it was produced by our pal Neil Kennedy, so you know it's going to be good. So get to bsmrocks.com, pre-order it. If you're listening in the future, go and stream it, go and buy it. It's fantastic. And I'm not just saying that because they're on BSM. But you know, I am going to say that. Anyway, back to me talking to Kate. Cheers.
Well, I think personally myself, even just like from hearing your choices, like, I don't know, maybe if this is the same for you, but a lot of it for me is actually the vocals and the arrangement of the vocals and the harmonies. Like, I love that there's no one like main vocal. Sometimes it's like a mixture of like 3.
100%.
And you know, just even the arrangements of the actual melodies of the vocals, it's very interesting to me, because I suppose like when you're like writing songs and stuff, like writing melodies for me is like kind of hard or whatever, you know, especially if you want a catchy hook, of course. But like the thing for me is that, like, you know, in every single Martha song on this album, it's like the verses are hooky, the choruses are hooky, outros are hooky, everything is hooky, and I just think that's such a testament to them. And as well as that, like, great accents, like amazing accents. Those accents are just my favorite thing ever. Like,
I was gonna say, it's really refreshing to have that voice and that accent coming through in songs.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It cuts above the grain, and it I think it's one of the things that I personally find most enjoyable when listening to Martha, like that sort of northern twang that comes through on certain words, and you can almost hear the history and the locations in certain songs and phrases and stuff. And I feel like you probably feel that as strongly as anyone, really, as well.
Absolutely. Like, I think it's really great to hear, like, you know, just even certain, again, what I was saying about wordplay and stuff, like, but just with their accents, it actually brings me to where they are or something.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes it actually more authentic to me or something. Yeah, I don't know, but I love hearing a good accent like that.
We all grew up listening to American bands, and it's nice to hear something you recognize.
Exactly. And I think there's something really true about just, you know, singing in your natural tongue, I guess,
absolutely.
and your natural, like, accent. Because, like, that's not to say that, like, that's, you know, that's just how we pronounce words and
Yeah.
stuff sometimes. And sometimes for just literally, like, you know, diction, you have to actually pronounce it properly. And I know that as an Irish person
Yeah, for sure.
who doesn't pronounce her THs or anything. So, yeah, so I just think it's really, really great to hear like such strong accents, but like really powerfully, like, you
Yeah.
know.
That must stem into
so-
the writing process in terms of like your creation of melody. Like you can only say things the way you have been brought up to say them. You know, your voice works
Yeah.
the way it does when you're our sort of age. So it must sort of stem
Absolutely.
into that. Do you?
Yeah, it does.
Do you, as an artist yourself, do you feel that has helped inspire yourself in the writing process, or?
Yeah, well, I think like just with age alone, that's kind of helped with the writing process. Like, you know, years ago when I had maybe first joined the Winter Passing, I would just be trying to sing just to try get words in and like, you know, but actually I think nowadays, like, not just from myself but as a collective, like, we're so proud to be from where we're from,
Yeah.
and we really want that to cut through in our music, just because I love Ireland.
Yeah.
We all love Ireland, but I think as well as that, like, you know, I want our sound to really identify with the fact that we're an Irish band, and, you know, make it more authentic to ourselves, like, you know. But yeah, no, I definitely think it more so with age and time.
Yeah.
That became something that was much more important to us as a band, that people could hear where we're from, and
Yeah.
not just because the internet or like, you know, Googling where we're from or whatever. Like, you can genuinely like hear where we're from.
Yeah.
It's really important to us now, you know.
And it's good to again, Martha never shy away from that. In fact, they
Never.
wear it as a badge of honor, and I think that's
Absolutely.
really impressive and, you know, inspiring for people who are not from London and the, you know, the
Yeah.
home counties.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you know, you look at, like, this is about Martha, not about me and our band, but, you know, like, it's the same. Like, that's why I think as well, I picked Martha, because, like, they're a band from maybe a place that I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for Martha, personally, just from being from a different country. But I guess, like, you know, we're a band that, like, collectively would have been originally all made up of people who were from the Midlands of Ireland.
Yeah.
Obviously now we have Kev, who's our only dub, but you know, and Marty from Limerick. So you know, we're kind of from here, there and everywhere now, but at the same time, it's like, it's really inspiring to see a band that go so far from a place that, you know, sometimes it is hard, and geography does matter.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, but, like, you know, it is very inspiring to hear them sing the way they sing, but also be from where they're from, and to succeed the way they're succeeding is just so inspiring, I think. You know.
And you mentioned that you first sort of were interacting with Martha going to the chicken house. Is that what we're having to fact check here?
I think it's the chicken house. I'm like, but then at the same time, I'm thinking, did I dream that? Because, like, I'm sure they're all vegan. Like, but maybe that's like a play on words.
Maybe it's just a joke, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm like 100% sure it's the chicken house, although I'm a little bit like afraid to say that.
But do you
I'm not gonna.
Do you have a fun recollection of the first time you saw them live, or is it still you can't see you've seen them, right?
Oh yeah, like,
Okay,
I mean,
good.
but to be honest, the first time I saw them was actually, we played with them in Dublin. They were on tour with Joyce Manor.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was 2017, I think. I'm not really good with remembering
fact
years
check a
and
lot
stuff.
here, aren't we?
Yeah. Yes, fact check, please. Yeah, so we played with them then. That would have been my first time to see Martha, and it was incredible. And, like, I remember what stood out to me the most at that show was the harmonies. I love harmonies, and I love people being able to actually execute harmonies live, because it's actually quite a hard thing to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I just remember hearing them and hearing those harmonies and being like, this isn't just like, they're such a perfect band.
Yeah.
from every retrospect to even to their harmonies live, you know. But yeah, I just remember being really in awe of them, like as live musicians, because they were really, really fantastic.
I remember wanting very much to go to the Brighton show of that tour when I lived there, and missing it. In fact, I didn't even see them live until it must have been Manchester Punk Fest this year in 2019.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was because I was before we were talking. I was looking through. I keep a diary of all the shows that I go to every year. Well, for the last couple of years, I've done it, and yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Pretty sure that was the first time, unless I was, intoxicated and accidentally forgot to write it down, which I'm good at not doing anymore. But yeah, I remember seeing them at the where was it, Gorilla? You lot were there that this year as well.
Yeah, I'm not very good at venues and stuff.
Or years.
Or years, or whether it's the Chicken House or I don't know.
I remember going to that show, and I remember being a little bit intoxicated and getting really excited and taking like 200 photos of Martha, and I think maybe one of them was of Jimmy, and it wasn't blurry, but like 199. I was just like so into it, feeling the harmonies as well, and just was like, I'm pretty sure I was with Andrew and Kay from Specialist Subject and just ditched them and was like, I gotta go and take photos, and they were all blurry. And
oh my gosh, that is so funny.
I enjoyed it. It's here for the music, but yeah, they killed it.
I think that's a really good description of what like sometimes it feels like for me when I'm listening to Martha, like, which is funny because like I just went on a walk with my dog this morning, and I said, I'll just like stick it in because I knew we were doing this later on, just to fact check. And I was
feel the songs again.
Yeah, feel the songs again. And as I was listening to it, I was kind of thinking like, oh my god, like this is how it feels for me. Like it feels like when I listen to this album, let's say Love Keeps Kicking, I'm like I was walking, well, I walk fast anyway. I don't walk fast, my dog walks fast. And
yeah, you get dragged.
So I get dragged. But yeah, like I just remember like even in that moment just feeling like I just could like, I don't know, just run or something, because it's just like, I know what you're saying, like you just got so excited and like all your pictures were blurry. Like I was the same this morning on my run. I was just like, or on my walk I should say, I just felt like I could run. I was so excited by the music, and also like as well as that, like I just really feel like this album for me, like I'm I kind of tune into vocals and lyrics and stuff because I feel like maybe that's my instrument in the Winter Pass. And so like this for me would be like my perfect vocal performance. Like, I love everything about it. But I also love that like the lyrics are and the music kind of like to me the music is like fast paced and kind of almost feels anxious, but like the actual lyrics themselves are like really hopeful about even let's say Love Keeps Kicking. Like I remember listening to this in like it's kind of like they found, oh god, I was almost gonna quote Rihanna there, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll quote myself. It's like they found like hope in like a really unhopeful time, like so I know what you're saying. I'm going into like philosophy of this now, but like
get in touch. There's not a dry eye in sight.
Yeah, no, I just like think it's that album came at such a good time because obviously, it came out during a year that was like a bit crap in general. But just the lyrics themselves always make me feel quite hopeful. This all came from you just telling me that like you took a load of blurry pictures. Oh my gosh.
That's the power of music. I think that's why I think that's why this is fun, talking to people about the bands and the albums that they really love. And
Absolutely.
I feel like Martha are a great staple of that sort of mentality and that sort of culture and that lifestyle. I think they're, like you were saying, that they were sort of negative but also positive as well. Like their lyrics are quite down on themselves sometimes, but
Absolutely.
seem to sing it all in a major tunes, major
Yeah.
chords. So it's
Yeah.
gets
Mega
you feeling
fast
all kinds of
bangers,
emotions.
major bangers.
That is that would be a perfect place to end it on that phrase.
Cool.
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Connor. Thanks for having me.
So there it is, another flawless podcast filling up your feed. As mentioned before, the Winter Passing have a new record coming out in a matter of weeks by the time this goes live. So go grab it, go pre-order it, get excited. It's great, really. It's amazing that I work in some form of sales. Anyway, this excellent podcast was hosted by me, as always, Connor Laws, and edited by my good friend, otherwise known as Vector Daddy, Oscar Lydiard. You know the drill by now. Don't make me beg. Come on, honestly. I look bad on my knees. This content's good, so just like it, please. Share it, and yeah. All right, see you next week.